there. Walking the streets. Walking the streets. Walking the streets. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame. It's a goddamn shame. The pain of a black man. Stuck inside this curse of society. As I enter the zone, I become the one. The pain of a black man. The pain of a black man. In these cold streets. The pain of a black man. A solitary tear of a thug cry. It's the pain of a black man in these cold streets. We ain't come from their neck of the woods. We come from the hood. No, the hood, we ain't come from the hood. The hood is what they gave us. 40 acres and a mule. A section that got ate up by so much abuse. Genocide through our culture. Left with nowhere to return. Nowhere to turn. And they tell us to return into the zone. The price is deep. Pain. Pain from within. They cast us down as black sheep. But the reality, we all men. I tell you, Mexican, we all can. For the pain of a black man. The pain of a black man. We were sold for cheap. As I walk these streets, I talk these streets, from cracks of crevices of the road, upon my feet are rolls of a stepping stone. Fatherless child, searching for a home. From the pain of a black man, sold for cheap. A solitary tear, it's a thug cry. In a nation seeking rehabilitation from the mistreatment throughout the nations divided from which we stand. Sold into a tarnish. Vividly, I paint a picture of a hardness as they muzzle us with a hardness. A shepherd cry to all my black sheep in this land where we were sold for cheap. Take a walk with me through this valley of the times to come. A refound nation, impacavated by visions of ancestors shed blood on these lands that where we stand across all sands as we span, as we expand to another generation. Here's a perfect picture, you know what I'm saying? I painted like this. Walking through the hardness. They placed on me a hardness. Never to disregard the fathers of a tear, locked down and solitary, confined throughout the stretches of time, bound in the cage of a dungeon. So we seek within. We go deep within the zone for what they owe. If only time would tell, as this gospel dispelled throughout times of the sands of the hourglass, without saying of 1,000 sands of cries, from stars that rise and fall of a shooting star. I search a paw from afar. If thou shall shake a spear, like as if Shakespeare under this spear, it's my spirit has come. Ponder me. Vision of a tale that's told. The shadows of a man. The shadows of a man. Upon land where I stand, under the haze of the pain. I vision a blank tower with no escape of a fortress, looking through a window as I peer through my eyes, cast, searching for, and they wonder what we're searching for. They forgot about the ambitious ones, confined down up in a heart filled with so much hurt. It hurts as if it was a curse, but it hurts. They make us afraid to speak, so now we weep throughout the weeks. Tell them about the pain, boy. As I tell them, I must explain the pain that goes down when locked down in chains. It's like I've been tortured with flames as I've been locked down in chains with flame. And to take a walk with me as I walk the streets. No politic upon the deputy who shot the sheriff. If that sheriff was me, as I sheriff the streets. Ancestors, my ancestors' inscriptions written upon my heart in this fixture for perfect mixture. A flowing of a river where blood comes thicker. Like my pop said, pour out a little liquor. Like my pop said. So as I walk the streets, another black man murdered by the hands of Uncle Sam. As in our heart, we reach to expand. Damn them hams. Damn them hams of Uncle Sam. As we now expand. By end-to-end the cast, reveal of a crossroad. They held me down. Slavery bound. Rang the alarm. As I rang the alarm, in visions of the sound of trumpets. As I rang the alarm, I walk the streets. I talk the streets. Envision me as I protest on the quest, beaten down by the hands of Uncle Sam. I quote scriptures as my scribes arrive from Mars, 12 tribes. I survive. A written day. So I rise, seek justice, seek peace from the streets. Sacrificial lamb as I spend. This is my service. They label me damn. So I reach a crossroads as I walk a throne. From a post to a ghost. Service to come close. As I approach, he spoke. Trump has a law. These days, Makaveli have calmed. Who can calm the storm to warm as we swarm and bomb, as though have shook in the spear, as Shakespeare fist to reach him close as I approach. I approach gospels, so reaching the palm. So I approach the spear, so a fist, the hardness of bliss. Never shall I resist. So as I walk upon and cry, as a river I rise, never to be despised. As I look into my eyes, and cry. As I walk through this valley, through the shadows of death, beaten down with lashes of a whip, like there's no time left. As I rise upon our journey afro, as I walk close, like a Pac-Man talking to ghosts. They say it's just another episode, another testimony of a saint. As I reload and expose, beaten with whip lashes. Chained down in the dungeon. As thunder I rise. To look in the shade of man with evil eyes. I asked them, had they ever seen a thug cry? From a man with wisdom so live. I walk these lines as I talk to these times. Trapped behind the darkness as I search for a shine. Looking upon the roads of a river that flow. A poetry of a man where I stand upon 2 feet on land where I am. I'm proud to be upon these streets as a man searching for fertile soil, in search of a seed. As I walk deep between streams, like Malcolm and Martin Luther, I have a dream. A dream to rise among the mist from the abyss and establish of a kingdom made of bliss. From frozen palms of a thunderstorm that calm. I'm in the midst, the darkness of a prince. Search for justice, elude the tangles and twine of religious. Surface upon the prince of a tear. As I rise from the eyes, I speak words of the wise, of in the times, in the hands of time, I stand behind, and I random blind as I surf and shine. The purpose on. It's a cold world in the streets. As I walk through the valley of a desert, searching for a beach, searching for the day my soul will be released. I walk a thin line, like a man on a hard grind, searching for shine. Look into my eyes of a cry as I expand time. It's the man I playing with a full deck. Bluff move for respect. I promise in the heat I will never sweat. Not a gambling man, but like BET, I place bets. I'm a full vet. Throughout the release, into the kingdom of the beast. Reconcile as I rise, a river that is deep. To my people that I speak, and a tear that I weep, and those that reap. Surface and I'm told to stop. But like a king, I just let it pop. I'm too hot on the block where I drop. It's the king of the land. Here I am, where I span across the sands to the depth. Trembling from the feeling, tears shed under the lower ceiling, concealed. Hot as molten lava, and my weapons real. Protected with a veil, stepping trill as a meal in the meal, as I will the wine entwine and sign through the hands of times. I'm too hot. I'm too hot. Bone lava like a volcano surface as the earth shake. When they see me like a double take, like Tupac. I'm too hot. Stationed on the block. I'm too hot. Hot as dry ice is the pole's cold. It's key ice now. The poles froze. Behind closed doors, I arose to stand on my toes as I seek a glow from a fro. As I walk the valley of the streets, speaking compassion that is deep. It's a letter from whom my soul cry. While my young man, so many of us die. Now my soul cry. So much pain trapped inside as my soul cry. So I walk a thin line between mine as I shine, walking blind. They say that I've talked through time, but I'm walking a thin line between mine. It's my soul cry. Roll I. I walk a thin line, twisting beside as I ride. As I surface, baby. It's when my soul cry. It's a river rise. It's a river rush. I bleed through this. It's a little touch. My soul cry. Roll out. It's love child, baby. I pray out to all the families that lost a loved one in solitary tear, for all those that have lost a loved one through the act of violence, and a roar from the streets from those that lost love from the hands of those that are supposed to protect us, to serve and protect. And our arms are turned against us, but we still must stand strong and believe that the time has come for us to stand strong together. Let this not be a mark of hate to make us divided and divided, to be a mark for our establishment, a mark to bringing us together so we can flourish. It's a time for us to flourish, not a time for us to fold. The war for peace is on. I know we've been through so much grief, but it's time for us to make peace. Let's stand together and chant it. This flight is in the winter, but we must stand together as a flock, like peacocks of many feathers, as we stand together. I know it's rough outside with the weather, but we must stand together. Through all pain, tribulations, we must stand together. Let's not be divided. Let's multiply. Stand together. Let our love inspire the growth of a nation. Let us put down the soil for our children's future. Let's show our children the definition of men. Men that rise and educate and flourish, protect, build, not destroy. We must stand together. Together, all lambs must stand together. It's Jesus' lamb to Islam of Allah. We all lambs must stand together. Let our kingdom not be divided. Let us stand together. The sun, it's cold right now. It's a cold world we're living in. But the sun ready to shine. But remember this. We must stand together. Love out that. Keyon and Makaveli at y'all 101 style. Always keeping it hot. That real over. Love y'all. Streets is watching. I keep it popping. At the courthouse jail, where we dropping. I'm gonna bail my baby out. I'm gonna bail my baby out.
You want to put him in a video?
Let's see where she at. Yeah.
Where's the fucking place? That's your feet. Oh.
Oh, you don't hear pay bills for your fiance?
Yeah, give it to him. Go ahead.
Pay bills for your fiance.
I saw you earlier.
Yes, they had to go wait for the Bell lawyer. Yeah. All right. Smoke a cigarette first. I'm gonna be out there for a while. Broadcasting live. Apocalypse fever up here in the courthouse. The alarms are off. It's total chaos. And let that man free. My people get locked up for jaywalking across the street. That man that shot one of our children down. That poor black boy, man, it's just don't crazy. It just don't make no sense. He didn't deserve that. Any man, woman, or child with a heart, no. That child didn't deserve that. That man was out of line. But he didn't have to pay. He just walk away scot-free, like nothing ever happened. This life ain't fair. trumpets sound. Thanksgiving approaches. The same way they took the land, they're taking our lives. These the ones that's supposed to serve and protect. But instead they torment, ridicule, lock us down, bar us down, stand us in confusion, and leave our mind in total chaos from so much injustice. You know, we speak a word of peace, we preach a word of forgiveness, but to continually get torn down, for our kings to be taken away, and our children to grow fatherless, and mothers in abandonment, it just messes up the whole ecosystem, the psychology of our makeup and our foundation for us to read history books upon a man that stands up for what he believes in, gets struck down and crucified every last time. And now the children getting murdered for shoplifting. And this system supports that. Now I look at what's going on in the Middle East, pure evil, hatred to the fullest. But is that not equivalent to what's going down here? Aren't we under the ISIS system? If I was to say rebel, would that be like ring the Liberty Bell again? A new declaration? A new amendment? Search for street justice and find no peace, nothing but grief. What's wrong with the ways of this world? I know. It says, Sheriff David A. Clark Jr. wants you to expect the best. Please use this suggestion comment box and let us know how we can better serve you. Like digestion, subjections. Kind of subjected to that. What kind of message? I have some good advice. First off, this slot looks like it's perfect to fit. Middle finger up. David. There you go. Yeah, wet. It's all up in you. Digest it. Killed them. I come in peace and liberty for all. Really, I have. But sometimes those that they say serve, but those that so-called rule us, they need an ass whooping sometimes. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes a child needs a physical ass whooping, or maybe even a verbal, or you know what I'm saying, or a mental, or emotional. No, they've been spanking our ass since the beginning. You know, they ain't took the whip off of us yet. They just got more clever ways of, handing down their infliction, we are severely inflicted. No excuses, though, for our actions, because, God raised us to be strong and to be able to endure all trials and tribulations. So, though we have been cast down with burdens, burned alive, hanged on ropes, whipped, treated as a dog, ate off the floors, while forced to entertain them, while our parents are being beaten and raped. So it's a lot of infliction and more than we can bear. But yet still, look at us. We are the most intimidated breed of a peoples, a race, of a feather, a flock that stands on this earth. And we have to say nothing at all, just our presence alone. Little young boy walk down the street with a black hoodie on. Grown man scared of a little boy with a little young child with a hoodie. They fear one young child with a hoodie that they feel they must use lethal force because they fear the black man that much, that a young child, innocent in nature, done nothing wrong, just because he's a young and black, a man fears him and they feel they must use aggressive force when they approach even a little boy. No other race, feather of people on this earth compels that much fear in men. One of our children, young children, can bring fear in their heart just by merely walking down a dark road. They're scared of us. Or they must jump out with lethal force, like bring an army to one mere child. Think about it. That's a great power we have. Now it's up to our rule to use that wisely. And it's a gift. Don't never be deceived into them making you believe this is a curse that we're under. This is a gift. The gift of darkness we have. Yes, we have the gift of the shadow of the valley of darkness within us, upon us. It's a gift. It's a blessing, not a curse. They read the Webster in the terminology when they just think of the ethnic and the race, and just to get the definition of which our tone, our pigment, and our skin stands for, brings fear in them. Where one child can walk down the street and they all shooken. They shook like a man with a machine gun and just cross their path where they don't know what to do. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to just say, "Excuse me, child, where are you going tonight? What's going on? Is there any trouble with me? May I just have a moment to just speak with you?" Couldn't they just approach a child like that? But one child can provoke fear for them to use deadly force against just for walking down the street. They didn't have enough heart to get out and just approach a child with hands, or a can of mace or a can of whoop ass. They didn't have that much heart, but they feared that child so much they had to pull out a gun and brutally assassinate that child. What would have been wrong with just getting out and wrestling? Let's tussle it. Let's man up. Let's get approach, or force a person on the ground, willingly or not, or just to come with a communication, or even to just address the word, read them their rights. Rights, they don't even read. They won't read rights. They fear one child that much that they will sit them down and execute them, and then say that their law protects them to do that. And then on national TV, they mock us and laugh at us and treat it as though it's a live action Purge movie going on where they're so excited and entertained by our reactions, and we feed into that and give them the entertainment that they need to proceed in their broadcast. They are excited about what's going on now of our reaction, because we don't stand together like, you know what I'm saying, like a king, like children of a kingdom would, you know. Children of a kingdom would have been attention, military salute, let's, you know what I'm saying, everybody on the same accord. You know, let's clean up our shit and get our shit right. You know, stationary combat, you know, it's a war out here, you know, but no, we just go rampaging wild, scattered sheep going against each other, let us loot, breaking each other home, let's steal from our no, that's what they want us to do. You know, that's why they feed us all this in the media to train our mindset to proceed to that's the way our thinking should be, so that's the way we perceive it to be. You know, they don't feed us good philosophies of us have a happy ending. You know, what's the happy, you know, in our culture in America, what's our painted portrayal of a happy ending? Can you read that to me? Can you just tell me what's our future what's our written generation of supposed happy ending? Just tell me that. What do you see in your crystal ball? What's our happy ending? What's our pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? What do we see? Is it just to have a picket fence, or, you know? I mean, where's our so that's why I sing these songs and bring a live visual of the confusion in the way we're manipulated and to perceive against our progression. You know, now they have occultic Illuminati scriptures that's passed along, created by real devil worshipers. Now they mirrored it onto us, where we now speak for them. It's like they use reverse psychology to bring us into their realm, where we now we feel like we speaking, you know what I'm saying, a new gospel, some unknown wisdom about what's going on with each other. I heard no one say that the Illuminati. Yes, miss. Well, I'm talking on my Skype to my friend right now. I'm waiting on my fiance to get released from jail.
What's your name, so I can help you out?
Eileen Johnson.
Eileen Johnson?
Yeah.
Okay, because if you're recording here, I can't have you recording here, okay?
Oh, we're not allowed to. I'm not recording using the phone. It's called Skype on text messaging service.
Right, but even still, because and then they can see you and you can see them. So if you were to talk,
Oh, that's why I came back
if you were
here.
to talk on the person, that's fine, but I can't have you using Skype or video back in here, okay?
Not even in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, who are you waiting for again?
Well, you have to tell me. You have to tell me because my phone is kind of messed. My phone can only receive Texas, and I'm using somebody else's phone right now because we're stuck. We've been stuck here since 3 o'clock. You know, like just go anywhere. Yeah. Yes.
Protesters make it known they are fed up. I want that in my house. And I'm fighting. The march continues inside Grand Avenue Mall. Stores block their doors as demonstrators chant. They exit to the streets with a moment of silence.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we could probably put like brick or something out of a chair or something.
Not to stop until.
Yeah, I seen those chairs that flipped up on top of it. Yes, ma'am.
Now, following tonight's protest, a man was taken into custody after Milwaukee police say they were called to Red Arrow Park for a report with a man with a weapon. That ended up being a Leatherman tool, and that man was released.
Yeah.
Also, police tell us
truly-
an officer
yes,
and a
I truly
sergeant
appreciate
were
it so
at the
much
Graphic
because I
Center
know I do so
as
much
crowds
power
tried
right
making
now.
their way
I
into
nobody
the
knows
Graphic
me.
Center,
I
and
need
then
to focus
those
on
two
my
men
own
did not
legal
seek medical
legal
attention.
situation.
Reporting live downtown tonight, Ashley Sears, Fox 16.
300 feet up in the air, Brookside files from nowhere to go.
The predicted
Normally,
last
I
night,
barely
but
ever-
cameras
I
were
barely
there
ever
for that
did
American rescue tonight, especially trained firefighters who scaled the smokestack and sing.
What I'm gonna do, what you do, you get your money back. Get it up and up. We're only in the first and the third. We have some money coming in, so I truly appreciate everything. So, like you said, I had somebody help me. Help